Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Sigma is a solution-driven company, and I have to say that I really truly believe that's true. I think that's how they got to be in 70 different countries with over 300 retailers and being carried in 2,400 physical stores. Because I know that I have this problem with mispronouncing words, I go to pronunciation things online. I'll look up something that's French or whatever, and I'm still saying it wrong. That's still really not how it's said. So the first time I say this, I'm going to try to do this based on what I found online. After I say this one time, though, I'm going to revert to saying these names with an American pronunciation because I'm not positive that this isn't the same thing and it's lying to me, and then all through this video I'm going to be saying these names wrong. But I respect everyone enough to try to get it right the first time and tell you this is what I found it's supposed to be, because like I said, I don't speak Portuguese. The company Sigma Beauty is owned by husband and wife team Simone and Henny Xavier Filho. I hope that was right. From now on, I will be calling Simone either Simone or Simone, but I will be referring to her husband as Rene. How much would it interest you guys to know that Simone doesn't even wear makeup? Or, well, she does now. Okay. How much would it interest you to know that she didn't used to wear makeup? She was a lot like I was, where, you know, she put on makeup if she's going to a special event, but, you know, didn't get up every day and just be like doing this stuff, okay? Just, wasn't her bag. Not what she did. For real, I kid you not. She had nothing to do with brushes or makeup or anything like that. She was a veterinarian. I can't remember everything, so let me just read what I wrote down here because, I mean, it's quite a lot. Simone has a Doctor of Veterinarian Medicine, holds a Master's of Science in Veterinarian Pathology, and a PhD in Infectious Diseases. And on top of that, she's a molecular biologist. I know, right? Okay, I feel so not accomplished. And Rene, he's no slouch either. Rene, and here comes an aha moment for you. Rene is an engineer. Okay, turns out he's got quite the background in paint brushes. Why am I doing that? I'm not going to put on foundation first. I'm putting on my eye makeup first. I thought we'd go ahead with their latest eyeshadow palette release and just do a everyday kind of look. In fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the brush that came in it because it's glittery and so fun. It's got everything I need. So at this point, you might be saying to yourself, what on earth do these really brainiac people have? I mean, what is the connection here with makeup brushes? And I mean, I was. And a lot of this information you can look up online. I mean, there's a ton of information from really reliable sources, but probably not going to find much on Rene. He's the CEO of the company. He's kind of like the guy in the back, but if you look him up online, you're going to find all these patents because they have like 60 or more. I think it's 60 patents at this point, the two of them own together. And that's pretty much, other than his LinkedIn, that's what shows up for him. But Simone, she's all over the web. And I mean, I gotta stand in awe of everything she's accomplished. Anyway, 60 patents. Woo! Okay, if you're thinking about ripping off Sigma, you might want to think twice. Sigma means the sum of all. And with Rene being an engineer, he even had a consulting business. Like, they were in Spain for a year, and he had a consulting business, and it was also called Sigma. The Greek letter sigma is a mathematical symbol that means sum or addition of several variables. And of course, with both of their backgrounds in science and engineering, it meant a lot to them to have a name that would summarize the company and also things that set them apart from everybody else. I want to read you a quote that I found from her online, and it goes like this. I left almost 20 years of academic work to start Sigma Beauty. She did, and so did he. He actually quit his job first. He quit his job in the first year, and she stayed on, you know, teaching as a professor because they needed benefits. I left almost 20 years of academic work to start Sigma Beauty. Anything I create needs to justify abandoning a career that I absolutely love. To me, it all comes down to providing our clients with quality solutions, to introduce never-before-seen products that change people's routines and improve their lives, to have a legacy that clearly shows we cared, that we are not in this business just to generate money, but that we as a company have a clear goal of doing our best and providing clients with an absolute best experience that they can have. Money is important, but to us, it's important to reinvest in the company and continue to grow it, and that's what we have been doing. So they're here living in the US, but for the most part, their family and friends are in Brazil, and they miss their families, so they go back to Brazil for holidays or whatnot, and guess what? Their family wants them to bring stuff home with them. Hey, can you get us this? Can you get us that? And we're talking like the early 2000s here, so guess what was kind of popular back then? Makeup brushes. If you're in my generation, you know that there was a time when most consumers, they did not use makeup brushes. We used our fingers, even for this, okay? We did our eyeshadow, we did it all with our fingers. Sometimes I still do. In any case, one of the things that was kind of popular then, because YouTube and beauty influencers were showing, makeup brushes and how much more precision your makeup and stuff can get with this. So they say, hey, when you come home at Christmas, I'm paraphrasing, when you come home at Christmas, can you bring us these makeup brushes? Can you bring us these jeans? Can you bring us this blah, blah, blah from America? Now imagine that you're doing this, but it costs you the amount of a small car. You wouldn't want to be doing that too much, right? Because you'd be like, I love you, but can you imagine all the luggage and everything else? I remember the late 1990s and the early 2000s and how popular websites were getting to be, and yeah. So the solution to this here problem is to make a website. We'll make a website, and then our family and friends will be able to shop from it and get the things that they want. So this is how it starts. And they make this family and friends kind of site in Portuguese and put it up for this purpose. And by the way, this is nothing that they told me. This is just stuff that I'm like rephrasing from stuff I read on the internet. That's also how I don't know how Renee happened to get some of these makeup brushes to look at. I don't know if they had some of them sent to them or what. But in any case, Renee looks at these brushes and goes, I can do better. And why wouldn't he think that? So anyway, they decide that they're going to make their own brushes. Simone starts studying different beauty YouTubers. She has, like we do, the ones that she watches a lot. She gleans from watching these YouTube videos what the holy grail brushes are. And so they're going to make their own brushes. So they take their own money and they invest, and they come up with 500 sets that they sent out to various YouTubers to try and get feedback. Why? Because they don't know anything about makeup. They're not makeup people. They're not makeup artists. One of the people that Simone loves to watch on YouTube, and this we're talking 2009 now. In 2009, one of the people that Simone really enjoys watching, as do a lot of other people apparently, is Tiffany D. Tiffany D is kind of who puts this on the map, or gets this whole ball rolling here. Anyway, that brings us to what, like about February 2009? She sends these brushes, among a few others, to Tiffany D. Now, I first heard about them from Jaclyn Hill. You guys know that. I've said that many times. It's been a long time ago. So anyway, like I said, the whole reason for sending these is to get feedback from people they respect and figure they actually know what they're talking about. That's makeup artists and YouTubers that are influencing the way the world goes and thinks regarding makeup. We'll ask them. They know. So they send all these brushes out. It was a professional makeup artist brush set that was curated by Simone as what everybody considered to be holy grail brushes. Do you remember this? I remember this. At that time, you had money and you bought MAC brushes, or you didn't and you went to Coastal Scents. That was kind of like the two big players in the brush world at the time, I think. They want them to give feedback on the brushes. Are they good? Do they work? Do you like them? What do you think about the price? And that's not what happened. What happens is, and this is life according to Married, okay? As I said, Sigma Beauty did not tell me any of this. Tiffany D makes a video and goes, "Oh my gosh, look at these brushes." It's all linked below. If you don't believe me, go watch it yourself. And that was, I think, in May. It was just a few months later. I mean, like, they ordered these brush sets with their own money, like in February. And then in May, Tiffany D makes this video and declares them the new, better, cheaper MAC brushes. And then people like me that couldn't afford MAC brushes watched these YouTubers that they respected, and they went, oh, well, if they're saying that, that has to be the gospel. And went and bought the brushes. And Renee and Simone, they're out eating dinner. And when they get home, they go check to see how their website's doing, any orders that they might or may not have gotten. They have completely sold out. And now they have 2,000 back orders. Can you imagine how they must have felt? You go to dinner, it's just an ordinary day in your life, you know, you got dreams and hopes and everything. You go to dinner, and while you're at dinner, your website just goes ballistic, sells out everything you have and puts you 2,000. And they're going, what? How did this happen? And Simone gets on the web then, you know, goes to YouTube looking to see what on earth happened, and she discovers this is what happened. Up to this point, though, Sigma is not inventing brushes. They're just kind of reinventing the wheel. They're taking brushes that, you know, people have, makeup artists and whatnot have thought for years. These are like industry standard kind of brushes that you should have. This is a blending brush. This is a foundation brush. But now Simone herself is getting interested in applying makeup and stuff to her own face and finds something like this to be stupid. And I agree with her. Okay, that's me paraphrasing again. She never said this brush was stupid. This is a MAC 190 foundation brush. So the world says this is a foundation brush. And that's why I think this, or the original Beauty Blender anyway, was invented. I use this brush sometimes to paint on foundation, and then I'll take a sponge and blend it out. I never understood this, and apparently Simone didn't either. And so what they're most known for, I think, is the F80 foundation brush. This brush here, not this one, because this one is the Ambience Collection one, but the original F80, you know, the regular one with the black handle. That brush has won so many awards and changed the way we do our foundation. She built this for herself, okay, and thought you might like it too. The handle is even the size it is and the thickness it is and everything, because that was what was easiest for her to hold on to and do what she wanted. Today, people still rave over this brush. I think we'll go with that blush right there. I should be using more than one Sigma brush here, right? Whatever, Mary. But I can do it all with this one, so why dirty another one? You may also think of Sigma as a brush cleaning company. I have the original cleaning glove. The cleaning glove was revolutionary. Do you remember Wayne Goss making this video? This is like a 2-minute video. Wayne Goss makes this video and he feels like he needs to tell the world what a failure Sigma is over this oven mitt. You know, a lot of people like me bought that oven mitt. And I'm sure Sigma probably appreciates me calling it that. But the point is that the company always listens. They don't get all hurt. I would. If Wayne Goss made a video and told everybody and laughed at my invention, I would probably go crawl under a rock somewhere and be like, Wayne made fun of me. But they did it. They listened to what people were saying and they made it better. Now that glove, I don't even think you can buy it with the one hand, which, by the way, was fashioned off of Simone's own hand. She's in her bathroom trying to clean probably her F80. Because if you ever got foundation in this, you know, it's dense and foundation is a hard thing to remove. So she's doing that and probably wasting too much of her time doing it. And she thinks to herself, hey, why don't I invent, again, paraphrasing, why don't I invent a better way to do this? And so she's in the bathroom, like with a silicone mat, and she's taking hot glue, I think it was hot glue, and making squiggles and dots and all this stuff. And she's doing this because she wants to see if this will actually clean her brushes faster, better, get more of the grime and stuff out of it. And Renee walks in and goes,
don't most people like wash a brush with their hand?
Yes. Up until that point, what were we all doing? I mean, sometimes I still do that, but, you know, if I just got a couple brushes, I might do that. But weren't you, like, putting the soap in your hands and doing this So he's like,
Hey, don't most people like use their hands to do that?
and she's like,
Yes, they do.
Well, why don't you just make a glove that has all that stuff on it and then people can like wash their brushes?
and she's like,
Yeah, that sounds really good. Want to go get Steak and Shake?
no, they didn't. But wouldn't it have been super funny if they really did? But anyway, that's how that glove was born. And she's like really proud of it and everything. And, you know, it goes into production. It works really good. And then this YouTuber, who's a real makeup artist, gets on YouTube and goes,
Look at this other glove. Oh, it's such a big fail.
I would have went and hid and cried for months and looked up and said, is it okay to come out? But they didn't. They took that and they went, okay, that's a valid point. Let's do this. And I think that that glove isn't even for sale anymore. I think it's the double. And then they took that a step farther and realized that there were people like me out who don't have a hand the size of Simone's. I don't know if you can tell by looking, but my hands are kind of little. So that glove, the way I used it was to throw it in the sink and use it like a mat. So yeah, they invent the mat, and they've got their soaps, but I don't like the liquid one. And am I afraid that I'm going to hurt Sigma's feelings by saying that? Nope. Because I said I didn't like this mess too, didn't I? I love this formula, but I hate that mess of a brush on the end of it, and I don't use that gloss that often because of it. And then they didn't run off and go, oh, Mary don't like us no more. They went back to the drawing board and went, maybe it's okay to have a doe foot on a lip gloss. Point is, they listen to what people say about their products and then they go make it better. Sigma has expanded from brushes to makeup, as you've just seen me use, and they have a lot of liquid lips, lip care, if you've not tried that, but this is probably my favorite. Look at this unique case. Do you want to know how this came to be? Simone is getting ready for an event, and she gets out her favorite red lipstick, and it's a nub. You ever tried to be really precise? And with a red lip, that's crucial. She invented these. It doesn't ever lose its point. See how I've got that really sharp Cupid's bow? And I didn't have to use a liner. I love these. Magnetic closure. Never loses its point. Very easy to get a precise lip. Beautiful nude colors and a stunning red. And now with this lip gloss, this one is in Brilliance. I wrote Hannah, my contact there, I wrote her with questions, okay? And she said, I'll put you in touch with Simone because, you know, she's got information. And I told her, I'm like, oh, I already know, blah, 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 blah. Because over the years, I have made it my business to know about her. I already knew all that stuff. I want to know this kind of stuff. My questions probably made her go, things that make you go, And yet she took the time to answer them anyway. But they're just stuff that goes around in my Fritzy mind that I wanted to know. Where did you guys meet? Was it love at first sight? She says, we met at a dealership when I was purchasing my first car 22 years ago. Yes, it was love at first sight. See? I'm a sleuth. I got you covered. I'm telling you what you really want to know about Sigma Beauty. Said, what advice can you give married couples who want to start a business together about too much time together? How do you make that work? Is too much time together ever a problem? And she says, not a problem for us. We have both different skills and take care of different areas in the company. I am more involved in product development, marketing, and creative, where Renee is more involved in finances, retail, and operations. We both have an opinion on everything, of course. And like I said, I have researched Simone of Sigma for years, so I know things that maybe the average person doesn't know, like one of the people that she wished that she could have picked the brain of was Steve Jobs. So I asked her about that. I said, it's a pity that you never got to pick Steve Jobs' brain, but what would be something that you would ask him if you could today? Do you use an iPhone? And if so, what was your first one? I still have my first one, which was actually the first generation. Yes, I have an iPhone that I update every 1 to 2 years. I would have loved to have shadowed Steve Jobs during a product launch from inception to market. I would love to have analyzed his thought process and decision making. I always always thought that Sigma's packaging of individual brushes was engineered the way that it was to identify them immediately as the real deal and not a counterfeit brush. It is very intricate. Is this correct, or was it because you were inspired by the sleek, luxurious, user-friendly designs of the Apple products? Now, the reason that I asked her that question was because I suspected that I already knew, but I wanted to make sure. Because Sigma brushes are packaged uniquely. When you look at a Sigma brush, when you get it in the mail and you open it up and you're like, man, somebody was really involved with this packaging. And it's twofold. One, they want to be like MAC is with their packaging. But the other thing is that Sigma has a problem with people trying to counterfeit their brushes. And she said, Renee actually designed the packaging, and yes, we have a patent for it. Yes, it was designed to avoid counterfeits. We even added a holographic seal of authenticity to the package. Our brushes are also marketed with serial batch numbers, so if we come across a brush that's missing our batch code, we know it's a fake. How do you decide on a color story for a palette, especially when you're trying hard to make sure that you have the cleanest products on the market? And does the latter ever cause you to have to scratch a color story? She says, to put together a color story, I start with an inspiration. The inspiration is either based on my own needs or needs for our clients. Then I select Pantones and finishes that I feel match that inspiration. I usually request over 50 different shades from our factory to put together a 14-shade eyeshadow palette. This allows me to only select the absolute best and cover all needs. Inner corner, brow bone, highlight, transition, crease, outer corner, toppers, lid shades, etc. Plus, I can select versions of each function that work with different skin tones. I try to check as many boxes as possible when creating a product. Working with clean ingredients does restrict my formulation and shade selection, but I am okay with that as I know that clean beauty is the future. And then I start poking my nose in trying to find out stuff about the future. So I'm like, knowing your big brain is thinking of products at least 2 years before we ever see them, because she's busy, okay? When is my next favorite foundation and concealer going to drop? LOL. Setting powder? Question mark. And she just outright gave it to me. So you heard it here first. We can expect this in 2022 and 2023. That will be the big complexion years for Sigma Beauty. I'm excited to expand our line by creating products that make sense for our brand. Our 2022 launch calendar is completely full, and I am now working on 2023. What was your first makeup brush? She says, the F80 flat kabuki. And I'm like, but then she goes on to say, honestly, I did not use makeup brushes before starting Sigma Beauty. I used to apply foundation with my fingers. Me too. Okay, so that makes sense. And from what I told you before, she created that brush for herself. My first Sigma brush, I believe, is 9 years old, the E40. That brush has taken so much abuse. Actually, all of them have, because I'm pretty hard on my brushes, as a lot of you will attest to. I chew on the handles, I rough up the bristles, and yet they seem to be indestructible. Why not a lifetime warranty? She says, I'm glad to hear that your 9-year-old brush is still holding on. Our brushes today are way better in terms of quality than they were when we started. And she's right. I would have to really go through my collection and look, but I still have that E40, but I do think its handle is wood. I think they started out, maybe I'm wrong, with wood handles. We made specific modifications to address our clients' concerns, and we continually improve our brushes to be the absolute best. The main changes that we have implemented are: 1, develop a variety of synthetic fibers. Those are patented, and they are different. They are so soft. And anyway, she says, develop a variety of synthetic fibers that outperform animal hair in longevity and hygiene. 2, Renee has created and patented our exclusive interlocking technology, which is the screwing system we use to attach our ferrules to the handle. If you look closely, our newest brushes are attached by threading, not glue. This system allows us to create the industry's first ever waterproof makeup brush. It will never fall apart. We are so confident in the quality of our products that we offer a free 2-year warranty on our makeup brushes, but it might as well be a lifetime warranty, and I agree with that. I can't imagine that there's anybody out there who's meaner to their brushes than I am, and this is why, even though I love my goat hair brushes, they're not the ones I use on the daily. And this is why, because I can hurt those. I can tear those up. I don't tear up my Sigma brushes no matter how hard I wash them, no matter how hard whatever. 3, our handles are no longer made using wood. Okay, so there you go. So that's, yeah, they used to be made of wood. Wood is a problem because it expands with water and retracts when dry. This causes wood handles to separate from the ferrules and the paint to chip from the handle. Today we use a proprietary resin that is unique to Sigma Beauty. The material is completely waterproof and no more expansion or retraction occurs. And then this next question, I just kind of wanted to ask the question that I know some of you probably ask, and that's, why give a brush set to me? So I said, how do you pick the brush enthusiasts collections? I hate the word influencer, LOL. I know that you're not about doing things just for the money. And we can really see that with my own Sigma brush set. Why pick somebody with so few subscribers? She says the most important traits I look for when we select a partner are professionalism, character, and a great relationship with subscribers and followers. I like to partner with someone who loves what they do, who respects their subscribers, and grows a kind and healthy community. I love to be the brand that first saw the value of influencers, and it is great to watch them grow. Can you walk me through your day? You wake up and then? I wake up, get ready, take 2 shots of espresso, answer my emails, and immediately sit on my product development table. I stay there for the entire day, usually watching YouTube videos. I love declutter videos, monthly favorites, anti-hauls, any content that will keep my fingers on the pulse of what the community wants. I'm always working on an average of 10 to 15 projects at all times. Now, I bet you thought we were done, right? No, because I couldn't stand it. I wanted to ask Hannah some questions too, because I just wanted to know, what's it like to work for Sigma? How did you come to work for Sigma? And she says, I worked in the PR department at the Mall of America right out of college, so I was familiar with Sigma because they used to have a retail store on the 2nd floor. I came across a job posting, and indeed I knew that I had to apply. 4 years later, here I am. Now, try as I might, I couldn't get anybody to sneak me pictures of inside the factory and what everyone's doing in there. What is the most fun part of your job? And she says, all of the people I get to meet and work with. My role has allowed me to meet or talk to so many wonderful people, some with large followings and some with small. She says, I think I would have someone to visit in every state or have lunch with. I'd like to have lunch with Hannah. You get to have a brush set. What are your picks and why? She says, number 47, multitasker brush. Yes, it's perfect for making your foundation look natural. Gives me the look of using a blender in half the time. Agree. The F46 Skin Perfector brush. I love using this for my concealer. It's soft and light. The tapered head is perfect for just under your eyes. The 55 Small Duo Fiber brush. Yes. I can use this for bronzer, blush, highlight, all in one. Absolutely, you can if you got a heavy hand. We'll cover that later. E55 shading brush. And the E40 tapered blending brush. I would do a whole eye look with just these 2 brushes. Good choice, Hannah. What is it that you like about working at Sigma? Tell me the truth. Do you guys tickle each other with soft blends at the least expected moments? She's like, haha. Each day is different. I could be meeting with a team to brainstorm for upcoming launches, working on the product development team on influencer collaborations, or scrolling through Instagram and TikTok. I spend a lot of time emailing with influencers we work with to make sure that they know about our latest launches, answering their questions, or checking in and catching up. And I have to say, I feel like Hannah's my friend. And that's why the last question is, am I your favorite? And she says, am I allowed to have a favorite? I love when I see an email come through from you because you always keep it real and I never know what to expect. That's refreshing. hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you know a little bit more about Sigma today and that it helps you appreciate why I love Sigma so much. Other than that, the only thing left that there is to say is that you guys are the best part of the Fritzy family, and if you're not having a blessed day, you can get one. Just go be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
And also, you guys know that yeah, what? Have the attention span of a gnat. And I'm afraid I'm going to get that wrong, so I'll be referring to it in the Indianapolis pronunciation. I mean, have you ever thought about it and said, well, that doesn't sound like a beauty company. It sounds like a sorority. Let's party! Yeah! You'll get party at the Red Solo Cup. I'll fill you up. It's time to party. Go get the Sigma employees. Sorry, I gotta read that in first person because I am Simone right now. Don't I look older than I did just a few minutes ago? Can you bring us these jeans? Can you bring us this blah 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 from America? Because they weren't born in the USA. I was born in the USA. Yeah. Well, I don't know. What do you tell your family when they ask you to bring them cheese from Wisconsin? Do you go, no? You might say, okay, and eat it on the way, or whatever. So through this experience, I guess, Simone is on the interstate, and she's on the interstate? Yeah, she's going on the interstate. She's going 90 miles an hour. No, she's going 110 with her hair on fire. Guess what came next? The chicken. Chicken. Which came first? Chicken, or never mind. We even added a holographic seal of authenticity. Often your mouth should shut up. I wake up, get ready, take 2 shots of espresso, answer my emails, and immediately sit on my production development team. And what? She sits on her team.